Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 23 preview. We are fast approaching the back end of the season. Also some exciting news. I'm sure you guys have obviously heard it, but the final series, the real NRL finals, there's going to be a separate Supercoach available for the finals, which I've got to be honest, I'm pretty excited for. It's a week on week basis, so you'll get like I don't know what the salary cap will be, but you'll get a cap to spend every week for the new, for a new team. So that's cool. But let us get back to this round. So let's before we get into what we're looking at, let's just get the team on paper, 1 to 18. Obviously, Brayley is back. Sandon Smith, I thought. Am I going crazy? I thought Sandon Smith was on the bench. I mean, I'm hoping he's not. Okay, he mustn't be. I thought I saw he was on the bench, but okay, that's fine. I don't want him to be, so that's good. Terrell May is out. Payne Haas is back, which is beautiful. Lindsay Smith, my boy. I've talked about it before, but the roller coaster with Smith, I thought it was like such a astute pickup back during the Origin period. It looked like it was going to be an absolute putrid decision, but he's honestly been one of the better front row options. Like, he's been really consistent. Tarpany and Fanil Blake, they did score well last week, but they've been a bit meh. So Lindsay Smith has done a good job, and now he's going to prove his worth this week. I'm pretty excited as well, because obviously Yo's ours, which, we'll see how that affects Penrith as a whole, but that it does give a lot of potential runs and tackles. And the great thing is that Lindsay Smith is not playing lock. He's playing prop still, and Isaiah Papali'i has gone into Yo's spot at lock. Now, I don't know, maybe during the game Lindsay Smith plays more of a lock role. I really hope not, because that was sort of what was killing him. He was turning into like a really shit version of Yo, where he was just passing the ball. So hopefully he just continues to run and make his tackles, because he's been really good. But yeah, Payne Haas back, Smith. The back row, so obviously you're playing Katoa. Crichton, obviously, good matchup against the Dolphins. Kickout, it is I think I'm going to play Kickout. I was going to say he's been pretty poor, but I mean, he did score 90 the week before. So, the Dogs coming off a very poor game, terrible conditions. I'm really hoping, I haven't seen how the conditions are this weekend around the grounds, but hopefully it is better. I like the Kickout play. Connor Watson, I mean, I don't mind if I have to play Connor Watson. It'll be interesting to see if apparently he was sick in the lead up to the game. That's why he came off the bench. There could be a late switch, and maybe he does come off the bench again, because he does sort of add that spark. So we'll see. I think I'll play Kickout over Watson, though. It's a tough one, but I think I'll play Kickout for the upside. The halves obviously pick themselves, Cleary and Hines. Jaden Campbell, absolutely. Farnworth is obviously out, so we'll swing Kiraz in for now. Lomax playing. Garrick, I mean, I'm gonna play Garrick. He's been pretty poor. Manly been bad. It's not a great matchup down at Canberra. Canberra coming off a very poor loss. I'm a little nervous, but I don't know if it's good or bad. He's playing on the wing again. Garrick, I wonder if he's going to be on the left. I'm assuming he will be. So, Tommy back at fullback, there's definitely plenty of chances for some cutout balls for tries. Garrick, genuinely one of the fucking slowest wingers in the comp, but he can surely cross for a try in this one, hopefully. The Raiders, the Raiders are an interesting one. Like, they look so good, and I look at their team and it looks really strong, but their outside backs can be leaky. So hopefully that's where Manly attack. Garrick hopefully can bag a couple. Isaac Tungo up against Newcastle. Honestly, I'm happy to play Tungo. We'll see. I know Newcastle are being good defensively, but like, you know, they are. We'll see. We'll see if that continues into the back end of the season. Penrith obviously coming home with a wet sail. I sort of like the Tungo play, and I bought him in because he is a guy that he does jag those big scores. So I like the idea. He'll be, I guess, the one negative, he is up against Bradman Best, who is back, that's a little unfortunate, I will say. It would have been nice if Best wasn't back for this one, but he is, so we'll see. Drinky, the Cowboys, I mean, that's a good matchup. Edwards are playing and Tedesco are obviously playing. So the reserves, at the moment, Hines, Tedesco, Nwangani Tawaze. I'm definitely playing Nwangani Tawaze. I'm definitely playing him. And then, obviously, no Karapani. I don't want to play King Tonga. We could just play Connor Watson. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, we don't have a lot of options. But then, so, all in all, if I didn't make a trade this week, I would honestly be fine. I think it's still pretty okay, all things considered. Yeah, I'd be pretty content with the team, but obviously we've got 5 trades left. Again, looking forward, just to rehash, the one downgrade enough is going to be Sanders Smith down to going, who will be able to then swing between Connor Watson and dummy half. That'll free up 200 plus K. Front row is sweet. Back row it's okay. Obviously, Kolomatangi can go at some point, but I'm not really set on anyone at the moment. Hudson Young is the guy, but they've got the bye next week. Then they play Penrith. I've said it before, but I'm happy to wait on Hudson Young until the last couple of really good matchups. So we'll probably just sit on that. Halfback, sweet. 5'8", fine. I don't think I'm going to be looking at another 5'8", unless something happens. So that, one downgrade, Kolomatangi to somebody, and then center wing. The center wing is good. The center wing is stacked. We have Herbie Farnworth now to trade out. So that's probably going to be the one trade this week that I look to pull the trigger on. And then that's Farnworth 1, Kolomatangi 2, and the downgrade is Smith. That's 3. So it leaves us 2 trades left for the very back end. I've talked about this. I definitely want to save a trade for Scott Drinkwater. Now, I mean, Drinkwater's got to go. He doesn't play the last game of the season. He could go earlier than that. We'll see. That it could be. I'm not gonna lie. I could be tempted. I could be swayed at a little Tommy Trbojevic. I brought him in. I've gone him twice this year. The second time I brought him in, it was an absolute and catastrophic disaster. He was abysmal. But we'll look at Manly in a second. But the Cows, Parramatta this week, obviously you're going to hold him. I mean, Parramatta with Moses are a far better side, but still, you would expect a bit of a high-scoring game. Clifford back in the halves as well, which is good for Drinky. Then we have Newcastle, Cowboys, Broncos. It's an interesting one. If he continues to not goal kick, then I'm pretty content with trading him out potentially next week. But then the Tigers game is juicy, so I don't know. Then you look at Manly. Obviously, I'm not looking at Tommy this week, even though Tom has scored very well against Raiders in the past. But then he goes Tigers, Dolphins at 4 Pines, Dragons, and then New Zealand at 4 Pines to finish the year. Like, it honestly is really, really good for Tommy Trbojevic. So, That could be a trade. It could be a trade next week. You know, it's he's a make or break. He's a make or break type of guy, Tommy. He can make your season, he can break your season. So we'll decide what we're gonna do. Obviously, this week him playing at fullback, it'll be a good look at if he is looking fresh, if he's looking fit. He's looked good. He's looked good at center. He's been roaming. He's been playing pretty much as a fullback. He obviously not playing at fullback defensively. He's not had to do a lot of those, side to side kick returns, like just a lot of movement at fullback. So, I think it has helped. I hear the people talk about like, oh, then he has to make like 20 tackles at center. Yeah, true, but it's a different fitness. Like his problems haven't been like a contact, like shoulder, like he has had injuries like that before, but his injuries have been like fatigue, his hammies, like that sort of thing, right? Like it's been like those just running type injuries. So playing fullback, going back there, having to sweep either side, cover the footy, all that sort of stuff a fullback does. They fucking run it a lot. We'll see. It'll be a good test for this week. And also we'll see what happens when Lehigh comes back next week. Do they continue with Tommy at fullback? Does Lehigh go back to fullback? We'll see. But that is for next week. I think the only trade I'm going to make this week is Herbie Farnworth. Don't get me wrong, there is still a temptation to just sit on it because we do have, I think it's still a pretty strong 18. Our only non-scoring player, or only scoring player not playing is King Tongia. So, we pretty much we get a free loop. We do get a free loop this way. You know what? That could factor in. You know what? Before we even look at that, let us actually go through vice captain, captains, and then who we would like drop if we were going to take the loop in that scenario, because Herbie plays pretty late in the round. The guys I'd want to bring in, it actually stuffs it, because the main guy is, spoiler, Dane Gagai for the Knights, so that actually sort of ruins the free loop of potentially like Cleary. Cleary'd be my only real guy to take advantage, and Gagai plays the same game, so that sort of screws it. You know what? Let us have a look at options now. I think Gagai is just the obvious pick. I think he's the go-to. We got Lomax, we got Kiraz, Sharp out, Eero out, Holmes out. So that's quite a triplet who are out injured, I will say. When is I was going to say this before, but yeah, Kale Eero, interesting little potential pickup if he does come back for like the last round or two. It seems like he probably would. Like they'd want him playing. If he's good to go, obviously they'll want him for the finals. They'd like to get a bit of running into him. So interesting with Kale Eero. Obviously we're not going yet, but if you got a trade, it's annoying. It would have been lovely if they had like the Gold Coast in the final round. They have a bye in round 25. Newcastle Dogs. It's probably not a great fucking matchup to bring back for like the final game. Big game against the Doggies, final round. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes. Dane Gagai, he's still under 700k, which is pretty nice. Him playing at fullback, he should have the goal kicking now, because Jackson Hastings was probably the only real threat for the kicking, and Hastings is not playing. So it is a tough game against Penrith. 49, I actually thought he had a lower break even, so I thought it was like, you might as well get him this week. 50 break even though, you could make an argument to wait, but I don't know. Is it really? He's pretty matchup proof, old Gagai. He is pretty matchup proof. Like, just especially playing at fullback. Like, I'm not expecting a bunch of goal kicks. I don't think they're going to rack up many points, but just the runs, the tackle busts. He's just a very safe option regardless of the upside. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I do like Bradman best as well, but obviously, if you're going to go with one, it is just Gagai. They are the same price as well, but I do like best. Casey McLean, obviously, I like McLean, but I went with Tungo last week. I don't need to get both Penrith centres. Timoko, actually a little interesting because the Raiders, they have a pretty, well, it's the same thing with Hudson Young. It's a good matchup this week, then the bye, then Penrith, but then the last 2 games are juicy. Tigers into the Dolphins, who are, let's be real, they're injury riddled. I think the Dolphins could struggle at the very back end, conceding, but yeah, I wouldn't go Timoko. Brimson, I've seen Brimson, a pretty popular little pickup. It's a great game against South. He turned up with Jayden Campbell against Penrith. So, I mean, I'm talking about Penrith being a tough matchup, but a couple of big tons from a couple upside guys last week. So, it's not that detrimental. Honestly, Penrith's defense is not what it was. South, Sharks, Warriors, Dolphins, Tigers. It is good. The one thing is Keanu Kinney is coming back through Q Cup this weekend, which, on a side note, fucking beautiful. I love Kearney. I'm so disappointed we didn't get to see him this year, but hopefully better and bigger next year. Although, if he comes back fit, that I don't know. I find it strange if they fucking brought him back. Like, just the type of injury it was. Like, wouldn't you just wait till next year now? What's the point? But if they are bringing him back through Q Cup, like, there's every chance he goes back to fullback and Brimson might go to centre. So that's a little bit of a concern. It would sort of screw Brimson. Tuivasa-Sheck is... Tuivasa-Sheck, you could just wait. And again, you could just wait on Roger. I actually don't mind him in a couple of weeks. Doggy's still a 53 break even, so you wouldn't expect him to go crazy in this one, but they've got very good matchups to come. Dragons, Titans, Para, Manly. A couple of good games. So Tuivasa-Sheck maybe a bit of a pod next couple of weeks. Anybody else? Katoni Stags? Nah, the Broncos have a really tough little draw. Stephen Crichton is the other guy I wanted to have a look at. I mean, I was keen, but I did have a look at his draw. I think it was a couple of days ago. I was like, you know what? No. it's a good one against the Warriors, I think, this week. The Roosters can league points, but Roosters, Melbourne, Penrith, Sharks, like, you just can't do it. Like, he is sort of playing that fullback role now. I wouldn't be shocked if he actually goes to fullback this week and Kiraz goes to centre/wing, but got the goal kicking. He just, I don't know, even last week, 65 points, you know what? It's just not, he's just never been relevant, which is, he's one of those guys, very good in real life, but, I mean, he's fine in Supercoach, but just not really what you want. Bowie Fermor, rock solid, but again, it's like, I think you just go Gagai. If you wanted to take a real flyer, someone like a Xavier Coates, like Melbourne, it is a tough run, but they play the Broncos twice, who they fucking love pumping the Broncos. So, if you wanted to take a real flyer on a Xavier Coates, hopefully he grabs like a treble against the Bronx. Like, he definitely could. They play 3 games at Amy Park, which is nice. And then even the final game at Suncorp, they love playing there. So it's a little juicy, but not for me. Not for me. Ronnie. I do like Ronnie, but I feel like I've missed the boat with Ronnie. I wanted him a couple of weeks ago. I didn't end up pulling the trigger. He's gone 90-90. Really, really good. He still has good games to come as well. But then a buy in round 25. Yeah, I think I've missed the boat. I'm not going to go. I think, you know what? There's other guys to go. There's definitely other potential options. There's other good pods. But I think it's just Gagai. I think it's Gagai. As much as it's with the pack, he's still only 4%. This all 100%. This surely has to increase. But maybe it's a good thing that they're taking on Penrith this week. People might be a little bit put off by going him, but yeah, surely that's got to increase by the end of the week. But I think just Gagai. It still frees up a good amount of cash as well on top of that, because fucking Herbie's fucking 840, bro. Not at the heights he was, but still, you're making good cash. So yeah, that brings Gagai into the frame. I think. Now the interesting one. Part of me, do you drop Ruben Garrick? There is a temptation to drop Garrick, but Garrick, I don't know. I think he's one of those guys, like, I just play Garrick every week, and it's worked pretty well, because he has games where he goes big. And the Raiders, they are doing well, but they're not a team. Yeah, there is a temptation, don't get me wrong. I think definitely, obviously playing Gagai, obviously playing Kiraz, definitely playing Lomax, Tungo. You could think about not playing Tungo against Best, but I don't know, just with Cleary on that edge, like I think I brought Tungo in for a reason. I'm probably not going to be playing Tungo too much for the rest of the season, because they have a pretty tough few games. I mean, you could. I mean, Melbourne, again, their defense is not that good. Like, he can go big. Tungo. So I think I will play Tungo. I think I will play Garrick. I think, again, I've got so many Roosters. It is a good matchup for them, but I think, because I've got so many, I think for now, I'm going to just go Garrick. I'm going to drop Watson again, I think. Could be right, could be wrong. I mean, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if he comes off the bench again. Like, if he does, I know he scored really well off the bench last week, but you don't really want to see him do that. Like, he only played 56 minutes, so you'll take the 63, but obviously you want him playing that 80-minute role. So, I don't know. I think if the weather, again, it might come down to weather again. If the weather's good, then I think I'm going to go with the big upside guys and hope there's some points. So yeah, for now, we'll do it like this. I'm pretty happy going forward. We got 4 trades. We got 175k in the bank. Obviously, we've got guys to trade out. Potentially next week, we could look at a Drinky to Tommy. We could. We'll see. But I don't mind it. At all. Obviously, Kalamatangi. I still think Hudson... We'll look at the back rows in a second. I still think Hudson Young is the go after their bye/Penrith, depending when you want to do it. And then Sanders Smith down to going. Because when is the 25 was the Sharks bye. So we've got to do the Sanders Smith down to going either next week or round 25. So just bear that in mind. So then we can play with the dummy half in Watson and swing him up. So yeah, bear that in mind. But yeah, let's have a quick squiz at the back row options. Again, I'm not that keen on too many. Again, you could still go really safe with an Aaron Clark. He's actually at a pretty good price now, 600. Hudson Young, I mean, it's nice. He's got 96 break even. He could hit it. He could definitely go a ton against Manly. I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders put a score on Manly. I'm just hoping Manly also rack up some points. But yeah, again, I'm not going this week. I think there's no real need to. I'll have to drop another player, and then he's got to buy next week anyway. Aaron Clark, for sure. Like, I mean, yeah, I still love Aaron Clark, but I think I'd prefer Hudson Young. I simply put, I'd prefer Hudson Young. Obviously, Clark doesn't have a bye next week, so depending if something happens, more injuries or something, and we need a player, then I definitely don't hate pulling the trigger on a Aaron Clark next week. Definitely don't need to do it this week, but don't mind just taking like a safe Aaron Clark. Bowie Fermor, really good, really solid. Again, it's a good matchup this week against the Bunnies. Even though the Bunnies, well, yeah, they obviously leaked some points last week. They were at half time, they were doing okay, but the floodgates did open a little bit, unfortunately. But I don't know, any other back rows? There's not a whole lot doing. McKinnon scored an 80. I think you got to try. Horsburgh, Duncan, Nickera with a 44. Yeah, Jackson Ford is... Jackson Ford is actually, like, pretty interesting as well. Yeah, but there's not that much else doing that I'm like, I really would like to bring these guys in. Jeremiah Nanai... Do the Cowboys... I know I've looked many times. How is their draw? Because he could go on a run. He's been a bit fucking shit though, hasn't he? Yeah. Nah. I do love Connolly Lemuelu, and it looks like he's playing 80 minutes now, but I do worry. Man, I love Connolly though. Oh, he's good. Is he sort of locked into that 80-minute role now? Is he locked in? It's actually not a bad draw for the Finns, but yeah. Again, I don't need to do it this week, and I still think going like just one of the big guns. I think just going one of the big boys is just more. It's safer, but also they probably just have the better scoring anyway. Again, all the trade outs it'd be Farnworth going to all sorts of players. It's very funny. Just one player, but that's how it be. So I think, yeah, overall we're looking pretty good. I'm still happy. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved a few more trades in the bank to just go a little buck wild at the end, but I think still overall we're doing okay. Is Callum he's gone for the season, right? Yeah, they are saying out for the season. I was looking like, maybe do we hold him and he comes back? Then before we log off, vice captain, big one. It always is, but obviously this time of the year with teams being very stacked, sit starts and captain, vice captains. Thankfully the sit starts have been actually like really easy because of all the injuries. I thought my team was like stacked with depth, but it turns out that we're running pretty thin most weeks, which is pretty good. The only decision was like Watson over somebody this week, so that's fine. No qualms about it. So vice captain, there's no one in the Melbourne Bronx game that I like. I don't have, obviously, any of the real high scorers. It's just hard to go. I think you just got to go Nathan Cleary as the vice captain against Newcastle. And then captain, obviously Nico against the Dragons is juicy. Nico has scored well, but you'd obviously have to not vice captain Cleary at that point. Tedesco against the Dolphins. Surely there's a bit of a bounce back for Tedesco. Fucking Sam Walker does still concern me. He just, god damn it, he overplays his hand fucking every goddamn set. Just doesn't get into any fucking rhythm. But I do like Tedesco. Obviously, someone like a Campbell against the Bunnies. But fuck, I don't know. I don't think I could. That's too risky, man. That's too risky. Campbell's coming off a couple of big scores. He's due for like a niggle or something, bro. He does pick up a little niggle. So no, I can't do that. And then I mean Parramatta Cowboys. I mean this could be a high scoring encounter. Drinky and Lomax are sort of both tempting, but the very safe option is obviously Tedesco. I think I'll do that. But yeah, the last couple of games, obviously there's some juicy matchups. It's really hard to pick. Like Drinky against Para, Lomax against the Cowboys, Campbell against the Bunnies. They're all good. They're all a bit risky. I mean, Lomax not necessarily risky. Obviously only scoring 40 last week, but he's genuinely pretty safe. He just had Storm just kept him out of it. I mean, that's his low score in a long, long time. So, I don't know. I could change my tune and give it to a Lomax. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the weekend's going. It's sort of, again, you sort of play it by ear. Maybe if you're really behind and you need to take a bit of a punt, you could go with a Lomax. But again, Tedesco, he's got to be due for some points, man. He's got to be due for something. But yeah, for now, I think that's what we're leaning towards. I think that'll pretty much wrap it up. For now. Hopefully, guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to like and comment. I'll see you guys in the next one.